Alright, hello everybody, Silver here. We are back with some more Zenless Zone Zero, of course. We're getting close to the 2 month mark. Uh, on my daily Zenless playing. Uh, I will say, I've been hearing this a little bit lately. And I can't help but agree. The highest level of content currently that is it's stuff that's like time limited basically. uh some of that kind of stuff is very hard to do. It's like, and I feel like this is a genuine issue for any kind of like gotcha game or anything. And it's balancing. Balancing is a very big issue. And it seems like, at least from what I was told, that they balance off of the idea that everybody has an M1 Astra Yao, which is not a. She's a limited character. She only appears every so often. She's not like a character that's on the main banner that is always here, always available. And M1 is you have to have pulled two copies of her, basically. Uh, and I feel like that is a tough ask, especially like you consider me. Think about it this way. Me, I've only been playing this game for just over 2 months. Just over 2 months. Uh, and I'm still not even able to like get 6K on Deadly Assault. So balancing content around the idea that somebody has a time limited character like that, or basing your balancing system off of the idea that everybody who's going to play that mode has two copies of a time limited character is actually a bit insane. And the bad thing is, it's not like the balance is staying the same for like Deadly Assault, which is DA. It's progressively getting harder. Which makes it even harder for a brand new player, to come into the game and actually start to be able to do that kind of content if they wanted to. Which is very likely they would, because you get polychromes out of it. There's a good portion of polychromes that are like stuck behind like the higher level content like that. DA, Shiyu defense, all that kind of stuff. So like, why would you base your whole system of balance on that, on being like, oh yeah, we're going to make, this character, or this, we're going to make it balanced off of this, and we're going to expect it to grow this game. There's reasons like Zenless Zone Zero considered like one of the lesser properties of Hoyo. And I feel like it's shit like that. Where it's like the new content is based solely off of having a character that you can't get often, like you can't get all the time, and having multiple copies of that character. It's genuinely very hard to justify getting into the game sometimes. Oh wait, hold on. Before I talk to you, motherfucker, let me see what I need. That's not the right button. I keep doing that. But no, I'd heard that recently. I've been talking with somebody in this server recently that's very upset about it, because before they were clearing pretty decently, but now they have trouble actually getting good scores in Deadly Assault and trying to get all of the polychrome that you can out of it. It's just genuinely like it's a hard ask. It genuinely is.
Hey, don't look down on me.
Trying to have people have those characters that are like not available all of the time. That being your sense of balance is a bit like fucked. It's also like the 1.0 characters. I've heard a lot of complaints recently about how some of people's like favorite 1.0 characters that are S ranks as well. So they're not just like, oh, random character, you know, like an A rank, like I have, like Anton. They're actual like S rank characters that are 1.0 that just aren't good anymore and can like barely get them clears. If that. And of course you have some people who you'll see it posted on like YouTube or something where they're getting like these super high scores, but you look at the like the stats and everything, and then you'll see like super like high tier rolls on all of the disk drives. Like their Wingens are great. Like they have some of the best Wingens you can get for that character. And that character has like multiple fucking mindscapes, which is when you have more copies. That's where it's like, I know some people have like a cost system that they go by. So I'm like, oh, this is for cost DA, you know. I just don't think that necessarily works well. It's mostly because, again, like, a newer player isn't going to be able to even come close in terms of, like, having the good rolls on discs because they're all fucking RNG. They're RNG. Discs are RNG. Getting Wingens is RNG. Getting characters is RNG. Like, literally, like, everything is RNG in this. It's not hard to get disk drives themselves. It's it's hard to get good disk drives. Wow, this is really not loading, is it? Am I frozen? Surely my game's not frozen. If it is, I'm not okay. I was gonna say, I'm not gonna like stop recording. I already recorded for a bit. It's been a few minutes. And I don't want to record a whole new fucking intro. But like, you shouldn't be basing the difficulty of a lot of your content off of the idea that everybody has perfect roles or anything like that, especially if it has to do with like getting polychrome. You can make it difficult, yes, but you shouldn't make it impossible to clear with, you know, lower tier units if you build the units right. You should be able to take an entire team of A ranks and be able to clear one, maybe not like 100k, but like enough that it's between 3 different parties. Let's say for Deadly Assault, for 3 different parties being able to wow, I'm laggy. But with 3 different A rank parties, you should be able to clear a DA.
Make a choice.
Just genuinely. Like, it should not be 100%. It should not be, oh, you have to have a very specific subset of characters that are all, like, limited, by the way. They're limited banner characters in order to get, like, decent clears. Because I think it's like 100,000 points that you have to get all of the polychrome. It makes it so... It makes it so, like, S-rank characters are not necessarily, like, oh, a reward. It makes it so they're a requirement. And I do not feel like that's a great thing to have for a gacha game. Having to have the newest characters in order to clear something is not a good business model for, like, longevity, let's say. Like, I'll say this time and time again. FGO is a good example of this. In that, like, everything is useful. Ooh, excuse me. In FGO, like... oh, fuck. Sorry. I'm having all of the, like, bodily functions today. But in FGO, every character is able to be used. And since there's no RNG in terms of, like, stat rolls, you could focus on literally your favorite character and make them able to do the highest level of content. Genuinely. You can do that. You might have to use specific craft essences that might not be, like, always available. But the thing is, like, you can do it. You could. Because also the craft essences, which are like this game's Wingens, or it's FGO's version of Wingens, basically. Craft essences Don't have random fucking stats. The stats aren't randomized. So it's not like disk drives. The disk drive system, I feel like, is a lot more difficult to get around. Because that's where the randomization in stats comes in. And you can't even, like, guarantee a perfect roll. Because even if you, let's say, get all of the stats you want on a disc, you know? But then you start leveling that disc up. There's a chance that all of those stats go, or all of the, because you get like +1 to each stat, like +1 level, to a random stat on the disk drive every couple levels. I think it's every 3 levels. Up to a maximum of, I believe, 5. A +5 on one particular, but it's completely random. So it makes it a lot harder to actually get a good build going, like, easily. It genuinely makes it, like, so difficult to actually get the build that you want. If it was something much easier to do, to actually get, like, perfect builds, then yeah, you can make the fucking DAs a lot harder. Because now it's like easily, you can easily get the best stats for a character, let's say. I'm trying to, like, word it through my brain. But it is genuinely, like, a problem that you're gonna make stats random on, like, disk drives. And you want to continue to make shit harder without giving, you know, the older characters better ways to get stronger and good ways to get stronger. It just makes it fucking abysmal. Like, to get some of the best disk drives, do you know how much time people spend? Like, what they should do is take out the fucking tuning calibrators and everything. If they want to make the rolls random, when you, like, spawn for the disk drives, if they want to make those random, take out the fucking tuning calibrators and shit, and replace those with, oh, you can choose all of the stats of it, but it's gonna cost you more dennies. And then keep the random plus on the disk drives. Or fuck, give an item that, like, every so often, you know, like, maybe once a month or something, if not, you know, once a week. I would say once a month. Give an item that lets you have a disk drive that's already fully leveled up, okay? You can just use that item on it and rearrange the stat allocations of it. You know what I mean? if you want to keep this whole system you have fucking going, if it's, oh, you could change, like, here's one that changes the main stat to whatever you want, after you've already spawned it. Here's one that changes the main stat, and then here's one that changes substats, but there's single use, and it only changes like one stat. And then you can release that fucking weekly. Whereas you can just actually change the entire stat allocation of a disk drive, be like a monthly thing. That's fine. That would be fine. Because it still keeps the fucking RNG aspect, but then you have a way that makes the grind for that less abysmal, to where people can actually play the characters they want without complaining. I've heard too many times how, like, hard it is genuinely to get good disk drives for a character. Like, people try over and over and over to get the right rolls. And I feel like that's a bit just, like, not great. You know? It just doesn't sound like it's fun to do. Crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, pen. I'll take this one. What is on this? What is new here? Oh. This is open. That's why. Thunder Metal.
You want to test my hammer?
But no, there's a lot of things that would make this game genuinely better. And again, if they make... I genuinely feel like I will lose interest so quickly in this game if the poster boy Billy is not a good character. If you make him an S rank and then he's just not good, when he did a lot of fucking heavy lifting for your fucking company when they made this game, like, no. I'd be mad. I'd actually be mad. I would genuinely be upset if they decided, yeah, no, Billy is gonna be just not good. Sorry. And I mean, he looks cool, but there's still a lot of time before he actually comes out as, like, a character. We have a decent amount of time, because we still have, I think, 2 banners before he comes out. I know Cecia's banner, and I believe Promea's banner is before his. But if they make him a bad character before then, like, if they make him a bad character on launch, when he comes out, it's gonna be bad. I would immediately lose faith. And other people are already, like, I've already lost faith in, like, Hoyo for doing this shit that they've done. And there's even another person that I talk to quite frequently who is genuinely, like, they're upset at the balancing of the game, which is who I was talking to with it. And I get some people want an actual challenge and stuff. They don't want the game to be piss easy. But if that's the case, there should be different modes. Like one where, oh, you're doing it for like the recognition to feel, something. And then another mode that gives you the polychrome. Because I know like DA shows rankings and stuff. I know DA shows like rankings of your scores versus every other player. So it's got a bit of a competitive edge to it. Even if some people are just like, oh, I just want the like 100,000 points. I don't care about anything else. But it gets harder and harder every time to actually get that 100,000 with characters that people have. Because not everybody wants every fucking character that comes out that's brand new. They might not like the design, or they want to save for a different character, you know? Let me out of the fucking corner. Let me out of the corner, bro. But no, it's genuinely something that's like a deep-rooted problem. Because it feels scummy. It feels like, oh, well, you have to have like the newest character. You have to have them like multiple copies of them. You know, you just have to, or else you're not going to be able to do this content. Which, if you wanted something like that, where it's like, oh, let's have a ranking mode and everything, don't put polychrome behind it. Just don't. Do not put polychrome behind it, because then people feel like they're losing out because they can't do it, and then they get frustrated with your fucking game. And then they just want to quit. Like, it's that simple. You cannot make your player base hate your game, or else you won't have a player base. And from what I've heard, almost exclusively, they don't listen to, because they do surveys. But again, this is just what I've heard. This isn't a fact. I'm not stating it as a fact. But I've heard that Hoyo only listens to like their Chinese audience. They do not listen to anybody else. Which, your Chinese audience is not all of your players at all. Just genuinely. And I feel like that's a bit of a fucking bold-faced lie, that they're actually listening to like Chinese players. I think they're just doing shit that's that makes them money. Which is nothing wrong with trying to make money out of it. You're a company. But like, you have a fuck ton of gacha games. You literally have like so many gacha games under your reign. That it's like, you're making plenty of money at this point, you know? You don't have to be so fucking stingy that every gacha game is, oh, buy the newest character. Buy the newest character, or else you're not gonna be able to play. Basic, like, that's where shit gets actually ridiculous for me. In my opinion, that's where it starts feeling like your game stops gaining a new audience. And I feel like Zenless is it kind of is getting to that point where people aren't going to start wanting to play it, like new players. They're going to hear what other people say or what other people have said about it and are going to be like, well, I'm not wanting to spend money, so I'm just not going to play the game. Because not every player wants to spend money. They might do it occasionally if they like see a character they really want. But if they feel like they're forced to do it or they can't play, they're not going to want to play it. They're going to hear that and be like, well, if that's how the game is, I'm not going to do it. And Hoya, like, Zenless Zone Zero is getting to the points where it's like, oh, the highest level of content, you're not going to be able to do it unless you've got the newest character, got multiple copies of some of the best characters in the game. You're just not going to be able to get everything in order to free to play. You know? You're just not going to be able to do it. Because you already have a fucking battle pass that gives you extra bullshit. You have a battle pass, you have the character gacha, you have skins. Like, what the fuck? What do you... Genuinely, what do you, like... What else could you sell? How else can you make money in this game? Genuinely. Because I'm pretty sure, like... with the voice actors you're hiring, you're making a decent amount of money to be able to hire some of these motherfuckers. And then I'm sure you're also making them more money when they are streaming, the voice actors themselves, when they are streaming your game, doing polls to try to get other people to play the game. When... I'm not saying that, like, they don't play the game, but they sound super excited for the game, but then, like, I don't see that much gameplay. But again, I've only seen, like, some of the poll videos. I haven't actually watched any of them, like, religiously. I'm not doing that, genuinely, but, I feel like they need to do something so it's not just like, oh hey, this feels like a fucking cash grab. We're gonna make cool looking characters, but then that character in the next patch, they're just not gonna be useful. Sorry. No dice. No good. You know? Like, that's fucked up. I've seen a lot more people complaining this, like in this round of Deadly Assault, that they're just not able to get to 100k. With the characters that they have. Because they might not have pulled for Rokudo and the Angels. Or, you know, they don't have some of the other characters that you would need to be able to. Some of them don't like Void Hunters, so they just don't pull for Void Hunters. You know? It just makes this game that much more difficult, especially with the random stat allocation of, like, the music store. The random stat bullshit, actually fucking sucks. It genuinely sucks. The random stat bullshit is just not good. It really makes it feel like, oh hey, you're gonna have to do something to get more of these disk drives, so let's play. We're forcing you to play the game more, so you can try to get more disk drives that you're not gonna get a fucking good roll on, for one. You're just not gonna get a good roll on them because, you know, that's how it goes. I'll probably put one on 2, and then Shockstar Disco on 5. King the Summit on 2. Hey. It's just bad because they continue to add like more things that you roll for to get your character stronger. It's just so agonizing. Genuinely. It's an agonizing experience sometimes trying to play these games and like have as much fun as you should be able to. Because there's no reason you shouldn't be able to like play the game and have fun. I don't have a engine for Lucy. Oh. Well, fuck me. I didn't realize I didn't have a good engine for her. Her build hasn't been updated since 2.2. This Kaboom is a good engine for her. It's the best outside of Weeping Cradle. She wants Moonlight Lullaby, 4-piece, and Puffer Electro. That's a Woodpecker Electro. Okay, so she needs 4 pieces of Moonlight Lullaby. I could just spawn some of those real quick. It's Moonlight Lullaby, yeah. I don't have Kaboom, so that'll be something that's hard for me to get. Okay, so I could spawn 6 of them if I do it this way. I only need 4. Okay, so that's a 3. A 5. A 2. That's 3 different ones. A 6, okay. That's 4. I didn't mean to exit, but fuck it.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Moonlight Lullaby. Moonlight Lullaby. Moonlight Lullaby, and Moonlight Lullaby. And then the other one is Puffer Electro. I just threw this on her for, I don't know why, by the way. I don't know why I threw that on her. I'll tell you that, for free. I just don't know why I threw it on her. I was like, yeah, fuck it, here you go. That was at the point very early on where it's just like throwing random shit on characters that I got. Uh, I have to be very specific on where I get these, so Puffer Electro there.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
But yeah, no, it's. I want this game to be decent, genuinely. I do have Slice of Time. Which is supposedly decent. Since I don't have Kaboom. I can put Slice of Time on her. And that's a decent replacement for Kaboom for now.
To what do I owe the
But
pleasure?
yeah, no. They genuinely should do some things with this game. They should fix some things. Because there's a lot of problems. There's the whole defense class as a whole. Most of them not feeling like defense characters. Like the 1.0 ones are fine, but the later defense characters like Zhao, and I think isn't Pan a defense, or is he a? Yeah, he's a defense. So people like Pan and Zhao do not feel like defense. They just don't. I'm pretty sure their skills aren't like that based off of defense either. Yeah. Uh, he just doesn't feel like a defense. Yeah, why are defense agents getting something that I would consider a support ability, where it's just like, oh, here's healing. Doesn't Zhao also heal? Isn't one of Zhao's moves also a healing move? It's her Aether Reel, isn't it? Wow, that lagged a lot in the menu. Surprised it lagged in the menu. Uh, yeah. Like, why does it have to do with it HP? Why does it have to do with HP? Yeah. These just don't feel like defense agents, whereas shit like Bin or Caesar gave you like shields, some type of shield. Bin was more like, oh, I'm gonna tank a hit with a parry with my EX and then deal a bigger attack. And then you could just keep parrying with his ability. Like that. You could do that instead of like, you know, the actual parry. Even though an actual parry is better, Ben still felt like a defensive unit. Caesar gave shields, yada yada. I think I've fucking said this before. If not, I've said it in a Discord call with other people. It's just weird and like kind of annoying. They need to do a lot with this game to actually make it to try to attract new players so they could make more money than what they are. But instead, they're thinking the short term. They are thinking short term, like short term gain, because they have so many fucking projects that they're like, it's fine if like one of them flops. You know, if one of them's just not as good, it isn't a higher earner. We could still like just keep doing that with that because somebody's gonna keep paying for them. Somebody's gonna keep buying these agents. Like, it's sad. Either way, I'm gonna stop fucking yapping and complaining. I'm gonna go ahead and end here. It's already 45 minutes in. So, I want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.